to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, first-timer on Ron Siegel Radio, Beef Wellington Pendell. Welcome.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that.
Glad to have you with us. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. We scour the world high and low to see what the celebrations are of the day. Either that or we just go to that super secret website, google.com, and we find out. Now, this one here, National Internal Medicine Day.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, if you got a bad feeling, you're going to probably want internal medical care. But having beaten anorexia, I will go with the favorite of the day. It is National Chocolate Day. Yeah, I like the National Chocolate idea. You know, it's getting close to Halloween. My waist size grows every Halloween. That's a different story. Hey, let's take a look at the markets for you today. They've been going up today, but now they've taken a little bit of a turn. Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 104 points. S&P 500 up 1528. Oil down 65 cents a barrel. Should I look at this or should I not? I don't know about this one.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
National average gasoline, $2.60.3. In Taxifornia, we're paying $4.06, $4.06.
Ow!
Yeah, think about that one. $3.66 in the oil-producing state of Hawaii. Always nice that in Taxifornia, we're paying less money than they're paying in Hawaii. Now, here's the issue. If you really need gasoline, you can go to Louisiana, $2.23.8. What is that, 223.8? What's that, about $1.70 a gallon cheaper than Taxifornia? But hey, you know something? We found a new way, and I just found this notation just over the weekend, because we look and see what the tax implications are. Why are we paying so much more in gasoline here in Taxifornia than the rest of the country? And they found another way to try and mislead us. I don't want to say lie to us. Maybe I will say the state lies to us, because that's probably closer to the truth than mislead us. They're not giving us the whole story. So if you look at the taxes here in Taxifornia, 61.2 cents a gallon in taxes in Taxifornia. 61.2. They don't want you to know that the governor's added another $1.07 in fees, so it doesn't show up under the tax foundation. So $1.68 is what we're looking at in fees and taxes when you add them together. Talk about stiffing those of us here in Taxifornia. But you know something? Maybe you can go and buy a Tesla. Oh, wait, they're turning off the power, so we might not want to do that. How do you get around all these things? Now, I know what's going to happen here. It's very simple. Those of you that have boatloads of money, the solution is right there. and end up putting in your own generators at home. They do that on the East Coast in a lot of areas where they have to worry about bad weather. We don't have that. We have to worry about fires. We have to worry about just simply turning off the power. So we'll go back to the same thing. Who are these taxes affecting most? It's not the rich, right? Politicians also tax the rich. Well, I hate to tell you this, the rich people are not paying these taxes. They've moved out of Taxifornia. We're seeing that. $58 billion a year moving out of Taxifornia. So it's all going back to the working people. That's how it's going to continue. But they don't want you to know that. I mean, they're hoping that the corrupt media will continue telling you these other stories that they want you to know about. They being the Main Street media, the liberal elites, the coastal elites. That's where this is all going to. But watching you say, man, I'm a patriot, right? I believe a lot of what we're seeing in the marketplace and how the needs are. We need a strong media. We need a democratic society. The problem we're seeing right now is there's no confidence in our government. It's very obvious there's no confidence in our government when you see what happened over the weekend. Everybody should be excited over the fact that the president authorized, and I just say the president did not kill al-Baghdadi, right? He authorized our military, great military, to go and do that which they do, right? It's not the president. It wasn't President Obama that killed Osama bin Laden. It's not President Trump that got al-Baghdadi. They authorized the military to go and do that, and we are ever so grateful to the military. But here's the issue. When the President of the United States says, I don't trust the Congress of the United States, so I'm not going to tell the Speaker of the House, I'm not going to tell the Chairman of the Lack of Intelligence Committee what I'm getting ready to do, that's not good. Right? We need to be looking at these things and saying, something, how do we solve this problem? It fascinates me how we don't see that part of the news. All we hear in the news, especially being here in Calizuela, is all we want to hear about is impeach the president. For what? For doing his job for a change? For going out there and authorizing a military strike like this? For getting us to the lowest unemployment that we've seen in a long time? Now, the president puts policies in place for these things. I'm going to tell you right now, because I do watch the news. I do watch the economic forecasts. I follow way too many people. But we're going to see another recession. If no one's talking to you about that, they're just pulling the wool over your eyes. A recession is on the horizon. There is a report out today that Halloween sales are slumping. Now, does that cause a recession? No. But it does tell us that people are not spending like they were. Now, we're going to spend $8.8 billion on Halloween costumes, candy, pumpkins. But the issue is we're not spending as much as we were. We're also seeing that business hiring falls to a 7-year low, according to a survey by the National Association of Business Economics. Right? So we are seeing these things happening in the marketplace right now. And why is it that I still say that you should be bullish on housing? Well, it's very simple. It's just a math equation. I'm just a simple guy. But here's the issue. In the unemployment, 3.5%, we're going to get a new number this coming Friday of unemployment in the U.S. The bar has been set so low. The expectation is for 80,000 new jobs in a country of 330 million people. That's nothing, right? So the issue then becomes, okay, well, how does that affect the population? How does that affect the recession, Ron? How does that affect housing? Well, I'm going to tell you, right? We're at a 3.5% unemployment. If we start seeing unemployment go up, and that's a sign every time that, people talk about an inverted yield curve. 99% of Americans have no clue what that even means, right? An inverted yield curve. But when we see unemployment go from 3.5% to 4.5%, there's 3.3 million Americans that are going to know exactly what that means because they're the ones that lost their jobs. 1% up in unemployment means 3.3 million Americans lost their jobs. Now, let's continue on with that. That means that the other 327 million of us are still working. But interest rates are going to go down. Interest goes down. Those people are going to say, you know something, my interest rates are down. I can still buy a house. I can afford more house than I was affording before because interest rates dropped. Think about that. That's where the benefit, that's why I am bullish on real estate. But today we're going to chat about real estate from a different perspective. We're going to talk about it from you and your guidance, right? Who's giving you the guidance you need for real estate? Who's telling you what you should be doing, what you should not be doing? And are you getting it from these dumb commercials on TV? Now, I say dumb commercials because I told you Purple Brick was a dumb idea way before they went out of business. Oh, yeah, that's right. They left the U.S. because that's a dumb idea. So we're going to talk about the real estate market, the future of real estate. We're going to talk about reasons to buy a home this fall and what happens if you're one of that 3.3 million and you can't afford to pay your bills. We're going to talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Good morning, John, Suzanne, Cindy, Nikki, Mitchell, Larry. Glad to see you with us. Just go through a few of the names that I see there on the board right now. Glad you're with us. We're going to get into the Mortgage Minute right now, being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs. They've got the products. You've got the phone. Make the phone call. Call our friends at Gold Star, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, check out that debt consolidation product. Right now is a great time because no one really wants to be moving right now. At least I can't imagine somebody wanting to be moving right now. We're getting into that time of year when people are moving because they need to be moving, not because they want to be moving. Gold Star, they've got the products and programs, and we can talk about our debt consolidation calculator. What's happening in the Mortgage Minute? Again, I have shared with you what the market was doing earlier. Didn't get into the fact that the mortgage-backed securities down 19 basis points, which means interest rates are up. The U.S. 10-year Treasury, it is up at 1.85. If you're a senior citizen, you're probably happy about that. The rest of the people that are thinking about debt consolidation, buying, selling, moving, they're not so happy. But you know something? I'm going to share with you that it really doesn't matter. If you're looking at a debt consolidation, it's your blended household interest rate that's important, not what your mortgage rate is. That doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. We've got a very, very quiet news day today, but it's going to get busy this week. We're going to see about a third of the S&P 500 stocks announcing their earnings this week. But here's the important thing that we're looking at is we're watching what the bond market is doing. Now, the Federal Reserve is going to announce on Wednesday that they're going to lower interest rates. Okay, that's good. But if the market sees that as being inflationary, that could be a negative for bonds. It could mean the bonds go down, interest rates go up even more. So just be careful of that one. That's why you want to keep tuning into Ron Siegel Radio. We're going to give you all of the daily information. We're watching the markets on a regular basis. Not only do we watch the news, but we watch the technical issues of the markets. And when we look at the bonds being down 20 basis points, now I told our private clients, I was a little off. I'm going to admit to you. I said interest rates are going to take a big jump on the 1st of November. It happened a little early. Right now we're looking at the bonds, though, being at 100.78, probably go down to 100.5. So we've got another 25 basis points of bond drop, interest rates going up. We'll keep watching it for you. We'll give you the strategy. We'll talk about hunting. That's another issue that most people don't understand when it comes to these markets. But that is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Now the question then becomes, if interest rates go up, what does the future of real estate hold? We're going to talk to Beef Wellington Pendell, the Career Compass. Good morning.
Good morning, Ron.
So what does the future of real estate hold?
Well, future of real estate is, like you said, I'm very bullish on housing as well. I think it's a great time to buy a house, great time to hold a house, great time to buy a second house. If you're a realtor, boy, it's the best and worst time to be in real estate, because if you know what you're doing, it's a gold mine and you're going to be doing a fantastic business. If you don't know what you're doing, you may be left behind, because this industry is changing, this business is changing, and what the customer wants and insists on is changing dramatically.
So what do you mean by the business is changing? We buy and sell a house.
Well, you buy and sell a house, and typically for the last 50 years, what's happened? You got to have a realtor, right?
Right.
When you're buying a house, when you're selling a house, you got to have a realtor. That's no longer the case. So we've got these companies coming in. I mean, we all know Zillow and Open Door and all these iBuyers that are coming in, and these discounters that are basically doing this without the realtor model. Now, this is bad for the homeowner. This is bad for the economy. It's bad for realtors. It's bad for everybody. The only people it's good for is Zillow. And it's the same exact thing that happened in the travel industry, you know, with Expedia. In fact, the guy who invented Expedia is the same guy who invented Zillow.
So he's the same, and he's the same. Is he the same guy who put his house on the market and sold it, and the Zillow estimate of the property was about 35% off. Is that the same guy?
It's not the same guy. The same company, not the same guy.
Okay.
You're talking about Spencer Raskoff, who was the previous CEO of Zillow, who his house, he actually sold his house for $90,000 less than the Zestimate, which was interesting. I'm talking about Richard Barton, who is actually the new CEO now that Raskoff is out. Richard Barton is the new CEO, and Richard Barton was one of the original founders of Zillow. It's all the same thing. But this is the kind of thing that's going on in the industry, is where if you're a realtor and you know what you're doing and you can bring new value to your customers, you're going to be doing fantastic, and your customers are going to insist on you. You are their lowest cost option. You are their highest value.
Back up, Beef.
Yeah.
Lowest cost option, using the realtors, the lowest. I keep watching all these commercials and they tell me the realtors are overpaid.
That's exactly right. And that's what these companies are telling the consumer. It's categorically false. A realtor, I want everybody to hear this, a real estate professional is your lowest cost, highest value option to buy and sell a piece of property. These companies who come in and say, hey, it's commission free, is because they're not calling their commission a commission. They're calling their commission a service charge. For example, Open Door has an average of 7.5% service charge.
7.5.
7.5.
Wow. So here in Southern California, Orange County, I looked it up. The median home price in Orange County in this area, $829,000. Okay. 7.5 versus 5 or 6 with a realtor. Let's just go 5 because I'm a simple guy. So 7.5. So that's 2.5% difference.
That's right. It's 150% more, and you're not getting any of the services. You're not getting any of the value. And on top of that, when these companies come in and buy your house because they're an iBuyer, they actually are going to offer you 70, 80, maybe 90 cents on the dollar. So not only are you selling your house for a massive discount versus what you could get, but you're paying a service charge on top of it. So it's just it's absolutely the worst thing for homeowners, home buyers, and home sellers.
So people have to really think about this concept. And I know a lot of folks just they miss the focus, right? So Zillow is a publicly traded company.
Right.
The purpose of Zillow is not to save me money. The purpose of Zillow is to make money.
The purpose of Zillow is to make money for Zillow shareholders.
Real Zillow shareholders.
Richard Barton came out and said, we'll do whatever is necessary to benefit Zillow shareholders, not the industry, not realtors, not the consumer, not the homeowners, nothing like that. You say, the purpose for Zillow. Well, Zillow used to be an information company, a media company, pricing homes, giving valuations, but now it's not. Now it has become a company that's actually in the real estate industry, buying and selling houses. And they're buying and selling houses at massive discounts, and that costs the consumer money. That costs the homeowner money.
So I'm going to take this from a standpoint that probably very few people ever talk about. So Zillow's idea is to make money for their shareholders, right?
Entirely. That's the number one thing.
And so they should be good at it, right? And if they're going to teach me, if they're going to show me how to make money on my real estate, my largest purchase. Mm-hmm. I really want to go to somebody who's good at it, right? Realtors for years have driven around in Mercedes-Benz because they want the consumer, whether it's true or not, they want the consumer to believe they're successful.
Yeah, and
right?
some are and some aren't.
Some are and some aren't, right? But when you have a publicly traded company, we can actually see if the benchmark says that we're a successful company, right?
Exactly. You can look them up.
And I did.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
July 22nd, 2011, Zillow's stock price, $34.94.
Okay.
On October 28th, today, Zillow's stock price is $34.94. So they've gone up 70 cents in 8 years, right? They want to teach me how to make money. Mm-hmm. I think there's something a little off there because they don't know how to make money for themselves or their shareholders, yet they want to tell us that this is the way to go. Something's odd.
Well, they're interested in making money for them.
Right.
That's it. Not for the realtor, not for the homeowner, not for anybody else. And their entrance into several counties in the state of California, and I like your terminology, taxifornia. That's exactly what this is. We're driving companies straight into Texas because they had cut all the bad tax benefits there. Anyway, Zillow is now in California as an iBuyer.
So explain what an iBuyer is.
Okay. An iBuyer is a company that has at least $100 million in what's called venture capital, VC, coming out of Wall Street, and they position themselves to buy a house directly from the consumer or from the homeowner and sell it directly to the home buyer with no realtors on either side. Now, the problem with this, it sounds great. And when you see commercials, like they have this 15-second spot that says, when Zillow buys your house, you can choose your closing date and you don't have to make any repairs. And you see, it shows a guy clicking his cell phone saying, I want this much money for my house. Well, the problem with that is...
Hold that. Mm-hmm. We call it a tease.
A tease?
Right.
Okay.
The problem with that is you're going to have to come back and listen to us.
There's a big problem with that.
There's a big problem with the iBuyer and that commercial. And Beef's going to tell us what that is when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Reasons to buy a home this fall. And what do you do if you can't afford your bills? Do you just put your head in the sand? Is that the right solution? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1, on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Before we get into the real-time real estate segment, I will tell you're seeing on the screen, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you'll notice we've got the promotion still for the Anaheim Confidential Yes, it is a fundraiser for Cops for Kids. You've got the promo code for Ron Siegel Radio. Just put in there promo code RON1700. It's going to be a great event, November 8th at the River in Anaheim. Yes, it's a building, not a water park. You can go over there and you watch the Anaheim Police Department present this double homicide and manhunt. True story. It's exactly what the police department did. Dinner and drinks, 5 to 7. I eat a lot, so I'll be there early. Presentation starts 7 to 9 p.m. You can make your donations there. You can make them online. You can make them wherever you choose. But help it out. It's a lot of kids help. That is the Anaheim Confidential, the real-time real estate segment today. Brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. If you already found that dream home, text SLT Home Digest to 79564. You'll find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property. You'll find out exactly what the market knows about your property. And we'll send you an email once a month so you know all that information and it's updated. 4 reasons to buy a home this fall. Well, I told you earlier why prices are going to continue to rise. CoreLogic's latest Home Price Insights report shows that home prices have appreciated by 3.6% over the last 12 months. I can share with you and that's a national number. That's the Orange County number. Here's a number. I love quoting this all the time because I hear people say real estate is going up. Some others will say real estate is going down. And I like to look at what is the 60-year average. That's a pretty good time frame. You look and say, okay, over the last 60 years, real estate in Orange County up 6.3%. Over the last 10 years, up 4%. Over the last 5 years, up 4.11%. These are all some really good numbers for you to be aware of. So that is part of the data right there that we're going to share with you. We're going to also look at mortgage interest rates projected to increase over the last year. Now, I can tell you that they're up, 3 weeks in a row. According to Freddie Mac, 3.75 was the number this last Thursday. And that compares to 4.86 a year ago, same time. You're going to pay somebody's mortgage. You're either paying your mortgage or your landlord's mortgage, so why not pay your own? If you want to pay somebody else's, please call me, 800-306-1990. I'll give you a mortgage coupon. You can pay my mortgage. Be happy if that's what you really want to do. And hey, the bottom line is it's time to move on with your life. If there was not a financial issue, would you be moving? Would you not be moving? Would you even be buying a second home? Maybe you're going to buy a retirement home. Maybe you're getting that bigger home, right size, all of that. So it is a good time to be buying real estate right now. That's the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. We are continuing our conversation this morning. Beef Wellington Pendell is with us. The Career Compass is the name of his company. We're chatting this morning about the future of real estate, and we started talking about these iBuyer programs. And before I abruptly cut Beef off, he was going to tell us the problem with these iBuyer programs. So what is that problem, Beef?
Well, the problem is for the homeowner because they sound like great things to do if you want to sell your home. It's like, well, I want to sell my home. Do I really want to go through a realtor? Let me tell you why exactly you want to go through a realtor. If you go with one of these iBuyers, meaning Zillow, Open Door, or any of these other iBuyers, you are going to take an absolute bath when it comes to your equity. Let me make it very simple for you. Let's say you had something that's worth $100, just to make the numbers easy for you.
I like it because I'm a simple guy.
Me too. So you got something that's worth $100, okay? And you want to sell it through an iBuyer. Well, the first thing they're going to do is they're not going to give you $100 for it. They're going to give you some percentage of that, even down to 70% of that $100. But
they're in the business of making money.
Right. So
not for me making money, for them making money.
Right. So basically what's going to happen is Zillow or Open Door are going to come in and say, okay, for your $100 item, okay, meaning your house in this case, we'll give you $85. You're like, well, okay, that's lower than I want, but gosh, there's no rigmarole and I don't have to have open house.
I was going to negotiate anyway.
Yeah, okay. So $85. But then what many people don't know is they take their service charge off of that.
Okay.
So if if it's a 7.5% service charge, and they say, okay, we'll give you, $85 for this $100 item, then they take 7.5% off of that. So now you're looking at maybe what, $77, $78 on 100. Yeah, there's no hassle to it. You can choose your closing date, et cetera, and not make any repairs. But look how much of your equity you just lost.
Sure. And I was told that they can go from anywhere from, you might correct me because you probably know more than me, they can go from 7.1% to 14% on the service charge.
Well, it depends on the company.
Okay.
Open Door drifts somewhere between 6 and 9.
Okay.
Zillow goes anywhere between 6 and 12. And there's other companies that charge, even upwards of that. So with a cooling off market like we have right now, they're going to be making you low ball offers. And then they're going to take their service charge off of that. Versus if you went with a realtor, you're going to get market value. And if you're with a realtor who knows what they're doing, they're actually able to list a home to actually push the price up. And that's the difference between a good realtor and a bad realtor. And that's one of the things that we teach at the Career Compass is we teach realtors how to list homes to get not just top dollar, but sometimes in excess of top dollar.
So I want to get back to that because what we want to really look at is maybe we need to find out how I can find a Career Compass realtor. But we'll talk about that when we come back in the last segment. But talk to me a little bit because I also heard that there is another fee that these programs will use. And it has something to do, and I don't know the terminology that they use, but if we're doing a traditional contract, which we don't need, I think you'll agree with me, you and I didn't talk about it, but I really don't need a realtor to find property, right? The properties are, I can go to Google, I can go to Ron's website, and my website has all kinds of properties. Zillow has them, Realtor.com. We can go a lot of different places to get data, right? What I really need the realtor for is from what I call contract to close. Right, to get me into the contract, because that's a big contract, and I don't understand all the legalese, but hopefully my realtor does.
It has to be done correctly.
It has to be done correctly, disclosures, the whole bit, all the way to get into the closing table, which one of the issues that happens in there is potentially a request for repairs.
It's almost every time it's going to happen very few houses, even new houses, don't have something. So when the house is going through an escrow or being sold, there's going to be some request for repairs, even on a new house.
Right. And they have a different name for it in these different programs, these iBuyers, but they still they have a to be determined fee that they put in there also. So that property that you were talking about that had the $100 property that they are going to give me $85 for, then they're going to take their 7.5% off of that,
right? And
now they're going to put another fee on there for repairs and other.
Yeah. So basically, you're not even getting what you think you're getting, because what's going to happen is they're going to make you an offer based on your address. They're going to say, okay, we'll give you the $85 on your $100 asset. Then we're going to take our 7.5% fee out of it, or whatever it is for that company. Then after they do an inspection, actually a live person actually comes out and says, okay, we're going to do an inspection. Then they're going to make a request for repairs, and they'll go, oh, you don't want to make the repairs? No problem. We'll just knock that off the price as well, assuming that they're going to be doing the repairs before they resell the house, which in many times they don't.
Sure.
So they're just going to take that much more off of it. So let's say you've got an $85 offer minus 7.5% minus another $10,000 or another $10 in this case for repairs. Now you're down to 65 to 70% of your asset. That's a terrible financial move. That's probably all your equity right there.
And I'm gonna suggest they're probably not going to use. In fact, one of our favorites, John Hammond Inspections, they're probably not going to use somebody like him. They're going to send somebody out that they know,
right,
and is going to give them a inspection report that's favorable to them, not me.
Always, definitely.
They're going to probably want to use their escrow and title company.
They have escrow, title, and everything else like that. So basically, everything happens through them.
So they're going to pick that, and they're in the business still, like we talked about in the first segment, to make money for their shareholders. So they're probably not going to be out there shopping for the best title or escrow company and best prices for my benefit.
Why would they?
Right. So really, we look at this, and I just kind of wonder at what point, who's the fiduciary here? The real estate contract says that the realtor, if they're using that contract, now they don't necessarily have to follow. I love what you said the other day when we were together at an event, that they don't have to follow the same code of ethics that the California Association of Realtors do.
They have no code of ethics because, see, folks, that's the other thing about this is these companies are not members of the National Association of Realtors or the California Association of Realtors. So they, in essence, have no code of ethics of any kind, where they can go ahead and do anything they want without reprisal of any kind, where an actual realtor has a code of ethics and a way of doing business that is fiduciary to benefit the seller, benefit their client, and put more money in their client's pocket. These other companies do not have that.
So I'm going to ask you a question. I usually don't go try and put you on the spot, but I might here. Does these buyer programs, I know for a fact that when a builder builds a home, they use their own contract. They don't use the California Association of Realtors residential purchase agreement.
Right. They don't use zip forms. Right.
They don't use those forms. Do the iBuyers use zip forms?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
They can. They have the option of doing it, but rarely do they ever do that because those forms don't, again, benefit them. The zip forms, basically the National Association of Realtors and the California Association of Realtors forms are designed to benefit the consumer.
Right.
Everything is built into that. It's a consumer protection type of issue. So those forms are designed to benefit the consumer the most, where other forms may not be that way.
What I want to find out from Beef when we come back is, how do I protect myself from these iBuyer programs? We're going to talk about that when we come back. How do you, as the consumer, the buyer or the seller, protect yourself from these events? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. I can't afford to pay my bills. What do I do? We'll talk about that. It's a reader question or listener question. We're going to give you that information when we come back. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. They're all wrong, in my opinion. I've been looking at credit reports for many decades. I've never seen a completely accurate one. Even the highest score I've seen, 834, 93-year-old gentleman, multiple millions of dollars in assets. And I saw about a half a dozen errors on his credit report. Yours is wrong too. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer. Talk to our friend Jeff Sipes and the Blue Water Credit Team. They'll help you out. No affiliation to the company. They've helped they work on my credit report too because I watch it all the time. I cannot afford to pay my bills. That's the question. I get these emails all the time. Got a lot of bills to pay, just don't know how to pay them all. Now I've gotten in the habit of avoiding the bills I get in the mail. I know this isn't sustainable, but seeing how many bills I have without a plan to pay them, making me super anxious. What should I do when I cannot afford to pay my rent, utilities, credit card bills, student loan payments, medical bills, and still feed and clothe myself? Help! Well, here's the answer to the question. Get your head out of the sand. It's not going to get any better, and if your head's in the sand, somebody is definitely going to kick you in the rear very soon, right? Put together a plan. Give me a call, 800-306-1990. We will help you out. You got to take care of your mortgage or your rent because you got to have someplace to live. You've got to take care of your food and utilities. There's some must-dos. Then you've got to start looking at your other bills and get on a budget, right? And talk to your debt creditors, right? They do not want you to go into bankruptcy because then they get nothing, right? So they're going to want to work with you, but if you just keep avoiding them, it's not going to get any better. If need be, I'll put you in touch with our friend Christine Wilton. She is a bankruptcy attorney. That's not a scarlet letter. It's called a fresh start. It's in the Bible. It's in the Constitution. Not necessarily right for everybody. I don't want you to go and think, well, I can just avoid my bills that way. But you know something? You've got to have a plan. You got to talk to the creditors. See if you can get them to work with you. But don't just hide. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. That's the Your Credit Matters segment. Again, brought to you by our friends at creditsanitizer.com. Continuing our conversation this morning, Beef Wellington is with us in the house. You know, Beef, I look at your name and having beaten anorexia, you know, I'm a fan of, I used to be able to eat beef. I can't not anymore, but you must get a lot of comments.
Yeah, of course I get a lot of comments. Every time I speak, people say, why is your name Beef Wellington now? The older generation knows what Beef Wellington is. It's like fancy food. It's like a fillet, wrapped in bread. And
nice
you get on a cruise ship.
There. And,
the young kids have no idea what it's like. What's Beef Wellington? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, wait, young kids, Google it. And you'll see
Google it. There you
Google
go.
Beef Wellington. You won't see me. You'll see a food.
Yeah, you'll see that there. So before we went to break, Beef, we were talking about the concept of how does the consumer protect themselves. Now, you and I both know that super secret website, google.com,
super secret,
has everything on there, and everything's 100% accurate.
Oh, my gosh. They say the A in Zillow stands for accuracy.
There you go. I like that.
So there you go. And, there's hardly anything on Zillow that's accurate. In fact, they manipulate the Zestimates regularly. And these days, they've manipulated many of them down because now they're in the business of buying. So now they can use their own low Zestimate as an opinion of value when they go to buy a house, which means your house. So as far as protecting yourself against these companies is whatever you do, if you own a house, which many of you do, something like, 60% of the population owns a house.
Right.
If you own a house and you want to sell that house, don't be fooled by these iBuyers. They're in it for the money.
Sure.
If they're offering you, this wonderful offer on your house and it's so convenient and choose your own closing date and you don't have to make any repairs, that comes at a cost.
Right.
They are not going to get anywhere near as much money in your pocket as a realtor. A realtor's job is designed to put more money in your pocket. It's within their benefit to put more money in your pocket. It's not in Zillow's benefit to put more money in your pocket. It's within Zillow's benefit to put money in Zillow's pocket.
When you just do the math and look at the common sense part of this, Beef.
Right.
Right. I mean, the realtor gets paid a commission.
Right.
A commission is a percentage of what they get on the property.
Exactly. For what they sell the property for.
So if they sell the property for $500,000, they're going to get a percentage of $500,000.
That's right.
If they sell it for $600,000, that's going to be a higher percentage of more money in their pocket for their family.
That's right. So they have a reason to sell your house for more. Zillow does not have that reason. Zillow has a reason to purchase your house from you at the lowest price they can possibly get because that's where their profit is.
Sure, because they're going to make money when they resell it because Zillow doesn't need to live in a house.
Exactly. Zillow is just a website. So the lower they can buy your house, thus the more of your equity they can steal.
Sure.
Better for them.
Absolutely. So don't get confused by that. So the bottom line then is we really want professional guidance.
You have to have professional guidance. This is your biggest asset. In most cases, this is the most important purchase or sale you'll ever make. If you're not working with a realtor, you're losing money, and the numbers show that.
Right.
It's not just about, I provide more service, and they do. Realtors provide way more service, but this is about the equity and the money that's in your pocket. Most of their net worth in the United States is in their house.
Sure. I just saw an article the other day that people think that as long as they have $1 million in assets, net assets, they're good for retirement.
Okay.
Which is false, right? I mean, when you think about needing $70,000, $80,000 a year and being retired for 20 years, it's not the case.
No, unless you're making a lot on your interest rate, and
and we're not. I just talked about 1.75 is the safe number, right?
1.75
1.75 is the 1.75% is the interest we're getting on the 10-year Treasury. That's safe. Other than that, we're speculating.
Yeah.
Right. But you and I are talking about real estate, and I just looked at the real estate report card for Orange County, and looking at $822,000 median home price, right, and that's going to go up. You go with the low number, say 4%, and you put 10% down. That's $32,000 a year we're making on appreciation.
Right.
We don't want to give that away to some website to go into some shareholders' pockets.
Well, that's the problem is people think, this is so convenient. This is so easy. I'm just going to sell my house to Zillow. You can go ahead and sell your house to Zillow, but I got news for you. That equity that you built up in that house, half it's going away, if not more, because you just handed Zillow half your equity if you're going to sell to them, because they're not only going to charge you fees, repairs, but they're only going to give you 70, 80, maybe 90% on the dollar for that asset of yours.
Now, here's the issue. One of the things you threw out there at the very early part of our broadcast this morning is you were talking about the idea of selling for more than the listing price. Is that a strategy that you teach?
Absolutely. It's called the 7% technique. We have actually three of them. We have the 7% technique, the 7% advanced technique, and the 7% extreme technique. And basically, it's a way for realtors who know what they're doing to list the house that creates a bidding war for that house. So this is a key thing, and many realtors think they have to cut their commissions to provide value. That is absolutely categorically false. Realtors, you create value the higher your commission is, and we'll show you how to do that, because if you use the 7% technique, you're going to create a bidding war, which pushes the price up.
Which is good for the seller.
Exactly. That pushes the price up, pushes the equity up. It's good for the seller because you're putting more money in the seller's pocket, which is your job in a nutshell. And you're pushing comps up, because when you sell a house, realtors, when you sell a house for more, like you should, which is what your job is,
sure,
you are actually increasing the comps, which is is a word that's short for comparable. So when you sell a house for more, because you've done your job correctly, you're actually raising the property values all over the neighborhood, which, by the way, is the opposite of what Zillow does. Homeowners, if you sell your house to Zillow for even 90% on the dollar, which you probably won't get, but let's just say you do, you get 90% on the dollar, you just created a comp in your neighborhood that pushed everybody's equity down in that neighborhood. So not only do you have less money in your pocket, you just took money out of every single neighbor in that neighborhood because you just pushed prices down. So Zillow and the online platform systematically push prices down and cost consumers money. Realtors consistently push equity up and put more money in the consumer's pocket.
And to throw that out in a way that many of us will understand even easier than what Beef just shared, Nobody likes the idea of seeing a foreclosure in their neighborhood, right? Because it kills the values of everyone else's homes.
That's right. It decimates values.
These iBuyer programs are the same way.
They're exactly. I mean, iBuyer programs are almost like these foreclosures, but just in a quicker sense. They're just killing home values. If the guy next door to you sells to Zillow, okay, instead of going through a realtor, and he gets 85% of the value of his house because he got a quick cash check and he's out of there because he doesn't want to go through open houses. What happened is that just created a comparison of value to your home that just took equity out of your house. So whatever you do, not only should you never sell to Zillow or any of these online platforms, but make sure your neighbors don't ever do the same thing, because we're all in this together.
So tell me one quickly, because we only have about a minute left, Beef. How can I find out if a real estate professional has been trained in these different things you're talking about?
You simply ask these realtors, have they been to The Career Compass? And by the way, real estate professionals, you can go to thecareercompass.com, find out all the information about our program. Tens of thousands of realtors have been through our program, and they know things like the 7% technique, the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, and all these things that create value for your customers, and these new tools, techniques, systems, and processes that as a real estate professional, you must know if you're going to be competing in the future of real estate.
So as a consumer, you need to know if the real estate professional you've selected understands these issues. And if you have questions about it, give me a call, 800-306-1990. I've shared Beef's information along the bottom of our screen here this morning. If you want to meet him or to find out if some of the professionals you're thinking about using have been to their service, give me a call. 800-306-1990. If you're a real estate professional and you want to attend one of their seminars, I'll put you in touch with them as well. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember my motto, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.